One might wonder what's happening in terms of climate. And we know, everybody knows the climate is changing and is probably well on its way to make these changes. What are they likely to be? Well, we forecast the conditions will change in such a way that when it rains, there'll be very heavy rainfalls for a shorter period of time. And when it's going to be dry, we might have longer periods which are going to be extremely dry. We've experienced those already in the last 5 or 7 years. And if you were to look ahead 25 years, which is what we should be doing, we should be always looking several tens of years ahead, we can forecast that these conditions could become much more intense. It's likely that we'll have much higher floods, rainfall, bigger flows. And when it floods, all of this land is actually underwater. So I would be up to about there with water, and it covers the land all the way up to the Thames, just completely flooded. And in the future that might be higher, but in the summers things will be much drier, so the water levels would drop a lot more and the river would go right down, and it would be for quite a lot longer. These kind of conditions can create completely different conditions for the biodiversity. So one of the things that the River of Life project is trying to do is to adapt to climate change. So a lot of people talk about resilience. Resilience means resisting climate change. Adaptation means adapting to it. So we live with the fact that the water levels are going to be higher. We have to live with them. We have to live with the fact that the water levels will be lower during the summer. We have to live with it. So these kind of enhancements enable these tipping points to be stopped, so we don't get to the tipping point of the ecology. So by having a pond and a backwater, we can create conditions that, despite the very dry conditions, there will still be an opportunity for the fish and the related aquatic systems to survive. So we talk about local to global. Well, this is local, and if we multiply this by several 100,000 times around the world, or many millions of times around the world, we have global. So a lot of people are very concerned about what's the relationship between local and global. Well, that's it. Local is this, we've done it over here. Do it in other places, not in exactly the same way, but adapt to it. Repeat it over and over and over again in river basins here, Niger, Mali, Amazon, around the world. And we've got global conditions. And the thing that is important is for our local residents living in this little village over here to recognize that, and similarly other people in smaller towns, smaller villages, not just in the UK, but around the world, to recognize and adopt that and adapt to climate change, because that's what it is we have to live with.